Peace and prosperity. Shalom Bataya. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and dive into this video. Right now you see my home screen of my phone. And the reason for that is this picture right up here in the right hand corner. If you look carefully, it's a picture of a harvest moon. And I know you guys are wondering, this is not my picture, it was shared with me from a sister from a while back. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why is Sister Jessica showing us this? Because the harvest is upon us. And when I say the harvest is upon us, you best believe that I'm not talking about crops. And I went to this to show you what a harvest moon looks like. It's orange or yellow or red in color. Speaking of harvest, let's get the etymology of the word harvest. We're not going to read the whole thing. We're going to jump right to the point. Okay, the word harvest used as a noun means to gather, pluck, harvest. And it also implied reference to the gathering of crops. The meaning, the time of gathering crops. So we're not talking about crops here, but rather talking about your essence, your spirit, your soul. The next word we're going to look into is reaper. And reaper is used as a noun. A reaper is a harvester, one who cuts grain with a sickle or other instrument. It's a machine for cutting grain. And the name of a personification of death. Did y'all hear that? Let's keep going. Reaper used as a verb. To cut grain with a hook or sickle. Cut and gather a harvest. Okay? To gather in effort of any kind. Gather the fruit of labor or works. So, listen to me, people. The reason for this video is coming up next. It's all going to make sense. The Rodneys. I know a lot of you are probably saying, why is Sister Jessica saying the Rodneys? If you would just hang on for a second, everything is going to make sense. Now, I know all of you have heard about what's going on with Rodney Hinton in Ohio. Well, we're not going to go into details about it. It's all the way around the internet right now. So it's easy for you to just look it up yourselves. But I'm going to make a connection here. And you will see why I said the Rodneys. And why it will connect with the harvest. Now, speaking on the Rodneys, we're going to do a couple of breakdowns. And in the next clip, you're going to see the other Rodney. Some of you have already probably guessed who I was talking about. And you're right, Rodney King. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering now, what does Rodney King have to do with Rodney Hinton? Well, you're about to find out. First, let's break down their names. The name Rodney means famous, renowned, or island. It can also be similar to how names in the Bible could represent a person's position, circumstances, and or hope. So for their first names to be named Rodney, and it means famous one, renowned, or island, speaks big things. But wait until you hear what both of their last names means. And I want you guys to really tie this all together. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to go with the last name King, coming from Rodney King. In the Bible, King primarily signifies a sovereign ruler with absolute authority, applicable to both human leaders and the Most High. Okay? In the Old Testament, title King was used for rulers of nations and cities, representing their supreme authority within their domains. The Bible frequently uses King to describe the Most High's position as the ultimate ruler, sovereign over the universe and his people. Yahusha is also referred to as King in the New Testament, signifying his authority as the head of the called out assembly. Okay, let's continue. Now we're going to look at Rodney Hinton, the last name Hinton. Hinton means high place or high settlement. Specifically, it can refer to a high or elevated location or household or farmstead. Now, I want you to keep the name Rodney in mind. Remember what it said. All right, let's continue to keep going. Let's complete what their names mean. Rodney King and Rodney Hinton. And here's the meaning. A famous, renowned, sovereign ruler with absolute authority who is ruler over humans from high, elevated places. I think we all know who that person is. But what does this have to do with the harvest? I'm about to show you. Now we're going to go back to the Rodney Hinton story and Rodney King, because I told you earlier we were going to connect the two and how the two tie in together dealing with the harvest. Now, we know that the police in Ohio shot and unalived his son, and in retaliation sent an eye for an eye. He then ran over and unalived a police officer that was retired. Now hold that thought in your mind. We're going to go over here to Rodney King. Bear with me now. Hang in there with me. Now let's go to Rodney King. Rodney King was a man whose life was deeply marked by a brutal incident in 1991 when he was severely beaten by the Los Angeles Police Department's officers, a beating that was captured on videotape that sparked massive public outrage and riots. He later died of an accidental drowning in 2012. But let me repeat that little part. The beating that was captured on videotape sparked massive public outrage and riots. Are y'all not listening? Now, let's continue to go on with this. I went on ahead and asked Google, was the race riot war because of Rodney King? And the results were yes. The 1992 Los Angeles riots, also known as the Rodney King riots, were a direct result of the 1991 beating of Rodney King by LAPD officers and the subsequent acquittal of the officers on charges of assault. The riots were a manifestation of long-standing racial tensions and frustrations with the criminal justice system, particularly concerning police brutality and racial discrimination. Now, the reason why I put these two men together is because what happened back in 1991 is exactly what they want to happen in this case with Rodney Hinton. Y'all, history always repeats itself. I know. What's this has to do with the harvest? I'm glad you asked. Let's continue. You are the key components to what they want. Order out of chaos. Race/civil war. Now, what kind of order could be brought out of a civil war or a race war? I'll tell you. It's called the Insurrection Act. Now, has the Insurrection Act ever been invoked? Yes, by President H.W. Bush during the 1992 Los Angeles riots following the acquittal of police officers in the Rodney King beating case. Now, how does this tie in with Rodney Hinton? Because my Israelite family, my melanated people, they are sitting back waiting on us to get angry, to get mad, to get out in these streets and riot and cause chaos so that they can invoke the Insurrection Act. And you want me to prove it to you? I will. Take a look at this. President Donald Trump already has the Insurrection Act signed into an executive order. All he's waiting for is some chaos. Now, what is the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act of 1807 is a U.S. federal law that empowers the president to deploy the U.S. military and National Guard in response to insurrections or when it is necessary to ensure the enforcement of laws in states. It allows the president to use federal forces to quell unrest, protect constitutional rights, and address situations where state governments are unable to maintain order. Do you guys not understand what this is saying? This means domestic violence, unlawful combinations that obstruct the enforcement of laws and deprive individuals of their constitutional rights. So, basically what they're saying is this. Once the chaos happens, not only are lots of people going to die, this is part of the harvest, but once you do something crazy, they can kill you on sight. They've always invoked the Insurrection Act to get what they wanted, especially order out of chaos. Now, I want you guys to keep the number 1992 in mind. 1992. In the Greek Strong Concordance, 1992 means letter, epistle, a written message, a letter, dispatch. 1992 in the Hebrew Strong Concordance means they, them, those. Here's the message. A letter, a message to them, to those. Who are they? You. Where is the letter, the message? Hang on, I'll show you. Let's go to our first letter/message coming from Romans chapter 13 verses 1, 2, 3, and 5. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Elohim. The powers that be are ordained by Elohim. So that's just telling you that the Most High rules over all, including man. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of Elohim. And they that resist shall receive themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Did you hear that? Will you then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same. So basically, this is the first thing about rioting. Don't be out there protesting and rioting, because nothing good can come out of it except for you dying. And we all know they don't care about us. Let's get our next letter. Romans chapter 13, verse 5. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for the conscience sake. So basically, what Paul was saying here was, do not be getting mad. They are provoking you. Just because we see all this stuff on the news and on the TVs and on our phones doesn't mean we need to let it stir us up, because it only leads to more evil. These rulers that are over us are evil, y'all. But listen, the Most High is in control of everything. This is his plan. You feel me? I know it doesn't make sense, but at the end of the day, it does. Now listen, if you play in the hands of the devil and his minions, what happens? Who end up getting hurt? Satan and his minions, or you? You end up getting hurt. So basically, getting mad about what we see, and I know we are tired. And yes, we are nothing like our ancestors. Nothing at all. Because we're not going to put up with that mess. But there's a time and place for everything. Let's get our next letter. Romans 12 and 21. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Didn't Paul just tell you to do what is good? We have to keep and maintain our peace of mind when we see all this stuff going on. I'm telling you, it's only to provoke us. And once we allow that stuff to get in our heads, what you think they're going to do to us when we get out there? They already taking our guns from us. So what you think is going to happen? Our next letter comes from Proverbs chapter 15, verse 18. A wrathful man stirs up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeases strife. So that means the Most High is telling you, do not get mad at everything that you see and hear. Only wicked people like to stir up mess. Evil people like to stir up mess. Keep your emotions intact, I'm telling you. Now, I'm not telling you at all not to protect your families. At the end of the day, the Most High already goes before us and fights. And remember, we're his battle axe. But not at all for you to be going out there just to be going out there, especially if nobody is harming you or your loved ones in your household. Our next letter comes from Revelation chapter 6, verse 10 and 11. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahuwah, holy and true, do you not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants, also their brethren, that they should be unalived as they were, should be fulfilled. So you see, the Most High knows that they are unaliving us. And this is why he told those who already been unalive a time before this time, and even in our ancestors' time. They were all unalived. And they're crying out to him, How long? How long will it be, O Yahuwah, holy and true, that you will avenge and judge them who shedded their blood on this earth? How long? And our next letter comes from Isaiah 26, verse 20 and 21. Come, my people, enter into your chambers, shut your doors about you. Hide yourself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be passed over. For behold, Yahuwah comes out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no longer cover her slain. So the Most High is about to hand that butt whooping to those that shedded our blood. So the question that our brethren asked him in the book of Revelations, he just answered it. Our next letter comes from Psalms 46, verses 6 through 11. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Yahuwah Tsabaoth is with us. The Elohim of Yaakov is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of Yahuwah, with desolations he has made in the earth. He makes wars to cease until the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in sunder. He burns the chariots in the fire. Verse 10. Be still and know that I am Elohim. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. Yahuwah Tsabaoth is with us. The Elohim of Yaakov is our refuge. Selah. There's two harvests that must take place, the harvest of the wicked and the harvest of the righteous, the wheats and the tares, the children of the Most High and the children of the serpent seed, Satan. And our last letter comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 10 through 11. To whom ye forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgave anything, to whom I forgave it, for your sakes forgave I it in the person of Mashiach, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So basically what the Most High is telling you,
don't fall into this trap.
So breathe, my brothers and sisters. The reapers have been sent out to gather the harvest. Now be still and know that Yahuwah is Elohim.